Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I think is the best of e.L.F. cosmetics. e.L.F. is a brand that I feel like has been around forever. Even before I started watching YouTube and really getting into makeup, I remember seeing e.L.F. around, even when they only had a few things in their line, and now they just have grown and grown. And I know a lot of people really love e.L.F. because of the quality of product that you can get for the price that you are paying for them. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys some e.L.F. products that I have in my collection today and my favorites, what I think are the best of the best in their makeup, their skincare, as well as their tools and brushes. So I really hope that you guys enjoy seeing this video. I'm also going to be including try-on clips because I am wearing a lot from e.L.F. on my face today. Two things about my makeup today before you guys judge me. One, I feel like my foundation is a little bit light on me today. I was testing out my Fenty Pro Filter foundation to double check my shade because I'm planning on buying the new hydrating one, and I feel like it looks a little bit light on me. I don't know, maybe it could just be me, but I think it's a little light on me. And then two, my eyeshadow went in a different direction than I thought today. I am testing out a new brand of eyeshadow palettes. Nothing on my eyes is from e.L.F., so if my eyes don't look the best today, please ignore that. So please excuse that, but this video is all about e.L.F. today. We are going to focus on amazing products for a really great price. So I really hope that you guys enjoy seeing this video, and if you want to know what I think is the best of e.L.F. cosmetics, make sure to keep on watching. So let's go ahead and start out with skincare. I know a lot of people, when they think e.L.F. skincare, they probably don't think it's going to be that great because they see e.L.F. as a drugstore brand or maybe a cheaper brand, which I could totally understand because the prices are so low. But when I tell you guys their skincare is some of the best I've tried, I'm not joking with you. I've talked about it a lot on my channel. My first favorite from the e.L.F. skincare line, and probably one of my favorite skincare products overall in my whole entire routine, is their nourishing facial oil. I absolutely swear by this stuff. It is a mix of so many great oils. I will have a list of some of the oils that are mixed together on the screen right here, but I've never tried something so nourishing on the skin. I never thought that I would be an oil type of person because I was always scared of getting overly oily. I do have combination skin, so I was always scared that using a facial oil would make my T-zone and like my pore area just excessively oily. And this oil does not do that at all. It just soaks into the skin so nicely, but it doesn't leave your face feeling like really greasy or heavy. I do only use this at night. I'm not a huge fan of using oil underneath my makeup in the morning, but at night when the oil has lots and lots of hours to really soak into the skin and hydrate the skin, it is just beautiful. When I wake up, my skin looks luminous, plump, hydrated, and honestly, when I use this, I rarely ever have to use a morning cream unless I really like scrub my face in the morning. I would say when I started using this product is when I started getting really comfortable in my natural skin. It just did something to really help transform my skin. My skin always looks healthy without makeup on, and this is just major key to me when it comes to e.L.F. skincare. I highly recommend this. And I do have to say e.L.F. skincare is a little bit more pricey than their makeup products, even though $10 isn't really that pricey for what you are getting in here because it is just so good. So definitely recommend the nourishing facial oil. Another really great product from e.L.F. is their illuminating eye cream. I really like this as well. I really can't say that I've absolutely ever found an eye cream that I love or that I swear by, only because you guys, I really don't have problematic under eyes. So I don't have fine lines. My under eyes aren't like dried, or I don't suffer from really dark under eyes or anything like that. So I haven't found an eye cream that I would say is really transforming and I would say 100% works, but that's only because I don't really have problematic under eyes, so there's not really anything to correct. So when I try an eye cream, I'm only looking for it to be like lightweight, cooling, and hydrating under the eyes. I'm not really looking for like a huge miracle worker, if that makes any sense. And I find that the e.L.F. one does just that for me. It's like a gel watery type of cream, which I really like. Really lightweight under the eyes. It has that cooling, tingly sensation, which I love. Definitely makes my mind think that it's working, but I really like it. I'm actually almost all out of this one. I have to pick up another one soon. Though I'm not picky about eye cream, I really think that this e.L.F. one is a good one, and it is infused with purified water and vitamin E as well. And the last skincare product from e.L.F. that I think is so great that I absolutely love, I repurchased it twice already, is is the Soothing Aloe Mist, and this soothes the skin and refreshes makeup with vitamin E and cucumber. This spray is also one of those swear by products for me that I really feel like helped transform my skin, especially in combination with the Nourishing Facial Oil. Those two products for my skin were just like a match made in heaven. My personal favorite way to use this is on top of all of my moisturizers and oils right before I go to bed. It has a beautiful, light, calming scent. It really does just feel cooling and relaxing on the skin, and it's kind of one of those perfect before bed type of mists that I just love. I brought this on vacation with me as well, and this felt incredible after too much sun exposure, just to really like cool the skin, calm the skin. I'm sure you guys know aloe is really good if you guys have a little bit of a burn. I wouldn't recommend this to like treat a sunburn or anything, but if you got like a little bit red on the face and you just want to try to calm your skin a little bit, this is really great for that as well. So another huge hit for me when it comes to e.l.f. skincare. I really feel like this has transformed my skin a lot. But now let's move on to some of my favorite makeup products as well as tools from e.l.f. The first thing that I want to mention to you guys are their Line and Define eye tapes. These eye tapes are going to be amazing for those of you who are beginners in makeup, or even those of you who are seasoned in makeup and just need a little bit of extra assistance getting that sharp line to your wing, to the edge of your eyeshadow, or even to catch some of that fallout. These are going to be your best friend. I know some people, when I introduce these to them, are like, oh, but I could just use Scotch tape or something, and you totally can, but these are not expensive at all, you guys. You get 40 strips for $2, and one of my favorite tricks is to actually cut them or rip them in half, and then you get 80 strips. So I think that is an absolutely amazing value. These are overall going to be more comfortable and just better for your under eye because they are, I'll insert a close-up of them, but they are a softer gauzy material and they don't have a huge stick to them, so they're not going to pull at your skin when you're peeling them off like Scotch tape would, and they're just overall going to be a little bit more gentle. I'm sure you guys know the under eye area is very fragile, I guess you could say. The skin is very fragile under there. You really don't want to pull and tug at it, and these are going to ensure that you get the sharp line. The tool is working how it should be working without the extra stickiness and pull of Scotch tape. So I really love these. This is one of my absolute favorite things I think that e.l.f. has ever done. Another standout product to me from e.l.f. Cosmetics is their little eyebrow kit. This kit comes with a wax or eyebrow cream, I don't know exactly what it is, and then also the powder, but I really like this kit the most for the powder. These past few months I have been loving the combination of a brow pencil as well as a brow powder on top, just because it gives a lot of definition to the brows. It makes the brows look nice and fluffy, and it fills in any like sparse spots that I may have missed with the pencil. And this e.l.f. brow powder is really great. I've been using this for years and years. This is also the brow powder that I have in my kit, and it is also very, very affordable. I believe there's a light, medium, and dark, but between each set you get 2 colors, which I think is really nice. So I wear mine in the shade medium, which is perfect for my eyebrows. I do have this layered on top of the Anastasia brow pencil today, but it's just a really nice brow powder. I'm not super picky about brow powders. I feel like a lot of them do the same thing, but what I love the most about the e.l.f. one is that it's not overly pigmented. It really just fills in the brows with the perfect amount of pigment. And like I mentioned earlier, I do also have the eyebrow kit in the shade Ash, which I believe is like the blonde version. I'm not exactly sure how many colors that this eyebrow kit comes in, but this one is the shade Ash. Oh, and it also does come with this little teeny tiny brush, which I don't use often, but this is the shade Ash, which would be really great for those of you with really light blonde hair, or maybe if you even have gray hair or something like that. Medium is the one that I am wearing, so if you are similar to me, you might want to get medium if you have like medium brown to dark brown hair, maybe even like a dirty blonde with darker eyebrows. And then this also comes in the shade Dark. I definitely think that they could expand the colors that this comes in. I know comparing this to like the Anastasia brow powder, this doesn't have anywhere near the amount of shades. These powders are really great, very comparable to other high-end powders that I've tried, and I just really, really like them, recommend them. Like I said, I'm wearing them in my eyebrows eyebrows today. Let's move on to some of the best face products in my opinion from e.l.f. This next one that I'm gonna mention, I've talked about a ton here on my channel in my past few videos. I apologize if you guys are tired of hearing about it, but it really is just that good, and that is the Poreless Putty Primer from e.l.f. I know this primer has been insanely popular everywhere, and like I said, you probably have been seeing this in so many of not only my videos, but other videos here on YouTube. But this is just truly one of, oh, let me get that hair out because that's gross. This is just truly one of the best and most universal primers that I've tried in a really long time. I really love how this makes my skin look. It is that perfect mix to me of like hydrating while also being smoothing on the skin and pore filling. It's just my perfect primer. It's just really universal for a lot of different skin types. I think if you are very dry, you're going to like this. I think if you lean more on the oily side, you're also going to like this primer. It's just a very universal for all skin types type of primer in my opinion. And it just has this really nice consistency where it feels really hydrating and like plumping and brightening on the skin, but it's also not going to make you overly greasy and have a nice smoothing effect as well. So I really think e.l.f. hit the nail on the head with this primer. I feel like it is really popular for a reason. I haven't really come across anyone who doesn't like this primer. If you guys don't like this primer, I would be definitely curious to know why, so let me know. But this is probably my favorite primer that I own. I feel like ever since I got this, it's been really hard for me to reach for and use my other primers. So e.l.f. did really great with this one. But there is also another primer from e.l.f. that I really do like, and that is their mineral infused face primer. This primer is going to be a little bit more like that typical clear silicone, very reminiscent of the Smashbox Photo Finish primer. This is going to be pretty much identical to that type of primer. I definitely would say I enjoyed this primer more when I had more acne, a little bit more texture on the skin, because this is going to be, like I said, more of that heavy duty silicone to where it really smooths everything out on the skin. It's going to hide a lot of the texture, kind of smooth over any bumpiness or unevenness that you may have from acne. But I really love using this in combination with the Poreless Putty Primer just to add a little bit more of a, almost like an airbrushed matte look to the center of my face. You guys are gonna see me apply this here. I really just like to focus this primer around my pores on the side of my nose, my chin, in between my brows and my forehead, just to add a little bit of extra smoothness to the center of my skin. I feel like that is where my makeup tends to break down the quickest. And you can also get this in a large bottle for $10, and I did just realize I haven't been mentioning the prices for everything, so I will definitely be sure to put prices on the screen, and of course, as always, I will have all of these products linked down below for you guys. Another product from e.l.f. that I think is one of the best in their line is their 16-Hour Camo Concealer. I know a lot of people were really excited about this concealer, including myself, because a lot of people were really into the whole Tarte Shape Tape trend, the chunky concealer with the chunky wand, and I do really like this concealer. I do think it is very comparable to the Tarte Shape Tape, but I would say it's more of an alternative rather than a spot-on dupe. Although these are very similar, I do think they have some differences, but I definitely would consider them alternatives to each other, just not spot-on dupes. So of course, this is the concealer I'm wearing today, and I really like how it looks underneath the eyes. I would say that you guys are not going to like this concealer if you have very, very dry under eyes. This is a very heavy and drying concealer, I definitely would say. I kind of have normal under eyes, so I don't really mind it too much, but I think that if your eyes are already dry, this is not going to look great on them. But I think that if you guys have very oily under eyes, you are going to absolutely love the 16-Hour Camo Concealer. So of course, this is the concealer that I have on my face today, and I think it does look very, very pretty under the eyes. Like I said, a tad bit dry, but I still do really like it, especially for being $5. I wouldn't say it's 100% full coverage, but definitely up there, like really high medium coverage. I have this in the shade Light Beige, which is a really great match for me. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when I first tried out this concealer, I pretty much hated it. I did not like it at all. But then as a few weeks went on and I decided to kind of keep trying it, I realized that the issue was that I was using way too much of this concealer. You guys know I pack on a lot of concealer and I typically don't have an issue with that, but this is not one of those concealers where you can get away with applying a lot of it. So if you guys want to try out this concealer, definitely keep in mind that less is more, and that is going to give you the most beautiful and smooth effect with this concealer. Ever since I started using less of this, I have really been liking it, and I think it is a really great concealer from e.l.f. I personally think that one of the absolute best things that e.l.f. does, like probably out of everything in this video, one of my top favorites are their little 4-pan powder palettes. The quality on these little palettes are absolutely incredible. I have 3 of them to show you guys today. The first one that I want to mention is their contour palette, because I searched high and low to find a contour palette from the drugstore that I really loved. If you guys think about all of the more popular contour palettes, at least the ones that I've shown on my channel, Kat Von D Shade and Light, Anastasia, the Tarte one is great. I was really on the struggle bus to find a contour palette from the drugstore that was really great, not going to be like ashy or chalky, and was good for my skin tone, and I definitely found that in the e.l.f. contour palette. These little palettes retail for $8, which I think is so great, and you could also like push these out and I believe like change the order of them, or maybe put like a blush in here if you guys wanted. These do pop out, which I think is nice, but the quality of these powders is really great. The formula is very smooth and buttery, and it has that perfect amount of pigmentation where you can really control how much contour you're applying. You could really kind of build and blend and build even more without putting way too much contour on. I feel like when it comes to products like this, the more pigmented is not necessarily always better, and e.l.f. got this level of pigmentation absolutely perfect for being a contour. So the contour that I'm wearing today is the lighter one. If you have a little bit of a darker skin tone, you might like the darker one in here. So it comes with the 2 contour and bronzing powders, and then it also comes with 2 highlighting powders. One is a little bit more of a sheer white, and then one is like a true banana powder, which I use to outline and clean up my contour today. So really smooth and pigmented powders. If you guys can see, those are really nice for like highlighting under the eye, like I said, carving out the contour. And then I also have these palettes in the blush form. So I have 2 blush palettes. This is their dark blush palette. This is the one that I'm wearing today. And then it also comes in light, which I don't love these colors. They're a little bit, I don't know, these particular colors in the light palette aren't really my thing, but the dark palette definitely has my favorite tones of blushes, and I'm using this like peachy neutral one today. I feel like the same qualities of the powders that I mentioned in the contour palette applies to these palettes. The perfect amount of pigmentation. You could do a sheer wash of blush. You could really build them up to have a bright, bold blush on the cheeks. These particular blushes are a mix of matte and shimmer, so you have a nice variety, and I really love them. Really convenient for travel as well, because there's a mirror in there. I'm just really into these palettes. They have been a staple in my makeup artist kit, as well as my own personal collection for a really long time, and I'm just really into these. These are really great from e.l.f. Another blush from e.l.f. that is really great from them that I wanted to mention is their little single blush. These I believe retail for only $2.99, $3, somewhere around there, and they are so cute. They are just the cutest blushes. These remind me a lot of the NARS blushes, and one of my favorite things about e.l.f. blushes in particular is that they have really long lasting power. When I first tried them, I was a little skeptical that because of how inexpensive they were, they wouldn't have the lasting power. I have tried some cheaper blushes that tend to fade really quickly throughout the day. They don't stay on the cheek really nicely, but I haven't had that issue at all with the e.l.f. blushes, the palettes, or this little single blush right here. They last a really long time on the face. These are really cute as well. e.l.f. has a lot of great blushes. I'm really curious to try their primer infused blushes because I've heard really great things about those. I think that they just do a lot of their blushes really well. And one of the last things that I want to mention from e.l.f. Cosmetics today are their brushes as well as their sponge. So here are some of my favorite brushes from e.l.f. e.l.f. does really nice brushes for an affordable price. I wouldn't say that these are necessarily going to be the absolute longest lasting brushes. I have had a few e.l.f. brushes kind of last me maybe a year, 2 years, and then they just kind of fell apart. But if you guys are just getting into makeup, or if you need kind of a brush for like one particular thing and you don't want to break the bank, they are really good quality brushes, even if you could only get maybe a year out of them or something. The price point makes it easy to repurchase them, if that makes any sense. So one of my favorite brushes from e.l.f. is their Flawless Concealer brush. I actually just borrowed this one from my mom because I can't find mine anywhere. I don't know what happened to it, but this is one of those kind of do everything brushes. So although this is called called the Flawless Concealer Brush. You can use this for so much more than just setting your under eye concealer or blending out your under eye concealer. When I had this brush, I really loved it to set my lids, and one of my favorite things to use this for was actually doing my highlighter, because it's just that perfect size and the perfect density to apply highlighter, blend it out, get it like nose, cupid's bow, like anywhere I wanted highlighter. This was a really nice brush for that. I'm either going to have to find mine or repurchase it, because now that I'm talking about it, I kind of want another one. This next brush right here doesn't have a name on it, so I'm not exactly sure what it's called. I want to say it's like their powder brush or something like that, but I really love this brush for like fluffing powder all over the face, or even like brushing away bake, blending out my bronzer and blush and highlighter all together, stuff like that. It's just really soft and fluffy. This brush is actually a really great alternative to the Sigma large powder brush. This is their F20. As you guys can see, these are very, very similar. I would just say the Sigma one is a little bit more dense, whereas the E.L.F one is going to be a little bit more fluffy, have a little bit more give to it. But like I said, you could use this for powder, you could use it to bronze if you want a big bronzer brush to kind of get the bronzer everywhere, fluff away powder, blend out your blush, anything like that. A really nice universal brush, and like I said, really close to the Sigma brush. If you guys have been looking into this one, try out the E.L.F one first. It's not going to, of course, last you as long. It's not as nicely made as Sigma brushes, but it's a really nice affordable alternative. And the last brush that I have to talk about doesn't have a name on it again, but I believe it is their contour brush. I picked this up a few years back when that NARS Ita brush was very popular, that square brush. I'll put a picture of it right here, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. It was really popular to contour, and I wanted something really similar, so I picked this one up from E.L.F, and I really like this to contour, but I prefer this mostly for cream contour because this is a little bit more of a dense brush. It's a little bit too dense for powders. It doesn't really blend out the powders as much as I like, but with a cream contour, it has the perfect amount of density to place the color down, really spread it out, make it look natural, blend it up into the cheekbone. I'm sure you guys can see it just kind of fits like perfectly in the cheekbone, so you could just like apply the cream contour this way, and then I like to kind of turn it this way to do my upwards blending. So if you guys are trying to get into cream contour or you don't know what tools to use, try this one out because it's really nice. I feel like you could also do like a little nose contour if you wanted to. I'm just too scared to try nose contour. And the last thing that I wanted to mention from E.L.F today is their Total Face Sponge. This has quickly become my favorite sponge. Also probably the best sponge that I've ever used, and it is only $5. I really don't know how E.L.F did it. It is the softest and most bouncy sponge that I've ever tried. It is absolutely perfect for applying creams and liquids. I love using this for my foundation, concealer. I've tried so many different sponges, L'Oreal, Real Techniques, the original Real Beauty Blender, and this one so far is just the softest, the most bouncy, and just overall the best one that I have tried. It has the perfect like porousness, I guess you could say. I don't know if that's the right word, to where it really takes in excess product without sucking up all of the product, and it just leaves any surface that it leaves so smooth. It's not going to be uneven, patchy. You can definitely count on this sponge to leave you with a really, really flawless base. All right, you guys, so that is going to complete this video. Those are the products that I think are the best of E.L.F cosmetics. If you guys like anything from E.L.F that I didn't mention in this video that you think I should try out, definitely let me know. I am always open to trying a new makeup for you guys, especially affordable makeup, because you guys know I love a good affordable find. I really hope that you guys enjoyed seeing this video and found it helpful. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel before you leave. I would love to have you guys here as part of my little YouTube fam. If you don't want to miss out on any of my future videos, click that notification bell down below and you'll get notified every single time that I upload a new video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.